Welcome to episode 44 of the Next Generation of Superstars. We're very grateful to have Kyriaun Davis here, who is a forward at Reedley College, originally from Bakersfield, California. Welcome to the show, man.
I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. I'm ready for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So how did you, growing up, find your passion, for the sport of basketball?
I always grew up playing basketball. I have an older brother who played before me, and then obviously my dad played as well. But I really started to find that passion around, I say like third grade, around like 2013 with the NBA. My team is the Clippers, so they're not really that good now. But back then, they had Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and all that. So that really got me into NBA basketball. And then when I started playing AAU and I started getting good and starting to get better and start to actually score some points and start. That's when the passion really came because I realized I could actually do this. Like I can actually get better and I can play with the guys that I would watch on the sideline just a few years ago. I can actually play with them. So that's definitely where it started.
100%. That's awesome. And you mentioned that you had family that played and does play basketball. What was that support when you started to take the game seriously and really try to advance your career? What was that support like from your family and even your friends as you really tried to strive for greatness in basketball?
Yeah, they really went all in with the support. My parents, they've done everything they can. They've sacrificed a ton, money, time, effort, energy. I've had so many talks with my parents, just trying to encourage me and lead me along, keep me on the right path. And even me having surgery last year, ACL surgery last year in March, the support through that process was amazing too, because I didn't really have to worry about anything except getting healthy and getting back.
Right.
So yeah, that's been the reason that I'm at where I'm at right now is because of the support from my parents. So I'm really grateful for that.
It's incredible. And I know you just mentioned you had ACL surgery, so I'm glad you're doing better. What was that recovery and just process, when you're playing the sport you love, you have an injury, and that setback that happens, what do you do, and what's your mindset to go forward and really come back stronger than before?
My mindset was to just kind of go through it. It's something that happened for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason. So even though it's unfortunate, I didn't see really any merit in kind of sulking or just being sad about it. Right? I attacked my rehab the same way I attack everything. First, I did research, and then I looked at other athletes in multiple sports that have torn the ACL. Some were around my size, some weren't. So I just did a bunch of research, and I was just faithful over the process. And now, 16 months later, I'm playing college basketball where I wanted to be before I tore it, but now I just had to. It was just another thing that I had to go through.
Right.
But I feel like it made me stronger overall. So
Definitely.
I'm fine with how everything sounds.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like you just said, like attacking that with the same mindset as you would anything else. That everything happens for a reason, but this is not going to just stray you off the course and off the track you want to be on to get where you want to be, which is playing college basketball and really taking your game to the next level. Looking back on your high school career, has there been, and even present right now, has there been any memorable career moments that you like to reflect on, or any turning points in your career that has really helped you get to where you're at today?
One moment that was kind of a turning point for my confidence because that was a big thing when I was younger is I went to a tournament in Vegas and it was my first tournament in Vegas and the first play of the game I got my first fast break dunk that I'd ever had up to that point. And then from there it was just the game was wide open because I had always years prior I would like dunk in practice or after practice or in the layup line every now and then but I never had the confidence to actually try that in game. So when I got the opportunity and I just took it, the game opened up.
That's awesome. I love it. And then, kind of just more on that game, what was that, the emotions, the feelings, to go in and have that confidence turning point You hear like great athletes. You hear about Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, other people out there that just talk about so much about the confidence and how that plays in when you want to perform at the elite level in basketball. What was that emotions? How did that really just take over and allow you to just be yourself out there on the court?
It's a whole different zone that you get into when you're confident, you're locked in, and you have faith, and you know that the work you put in will show. It's undescribable. It's like being a whole different person on the court. Like not at your core, obviously, but like being able to. It just feels natural to execute and be able to do what you need to be able to do. It's really an indescribable feeling. I could try to like explain it, but the best way I could explain it is you feel like a whole new person on the court, and that's a great feeling.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Kyriaun, what is a day in the life of a student athlete look like? I know it's going to be different, in the off season compared to in season. But what does that kind of routine look like, just for you and your agenda?
So a normal day I'll get up around 7 a.m., 7:30. A few days of the week I have to get up earlier because I have an early class. But a normal day, so like a Monday where I don't actually I'll do a Tuesday where I do have class. So I'll get up at 6:30 because I have class at 7:30. So I'll get up 6:30, do my normal morning routine. I don't normally eat breakfast. Sometimes I do. If I do, it'll be like some fruit or something. It just depends if I'm hungry. If I'm not, then I won't eat. I don't force myself to eat or anything. So then I'll go to class for a few hours. It's like 7:30 to 9:20. Then when I come back from class, I'll do I'll do like the straightening up in my room, clean my dorm and everything, and then I'll either go to the weight room. Because we have weights outside of our dorms, so I'll go lift some weights. I may play some pool, hang out with my teammates a little bit, and then I'll go to my second class, which is a longer class. It's 3 hours. It's a lab, so I'll go do that. And then when I get back, it's time to go get ready for practice, 4 to 8. And then after practice, we come back, relax a little bit. I may do some miscellaneous stuff. I have a fitness account on Instagram that I like to post content on, interact with people. So I'll do that. And then I try to get in bed between 11 and 12. It's a lot. It's very easy to stay up especially when there's a lot of people, kind of hanging out just in a common area,
Right.
or you're having a good time. But sometimes you have to cut it off and say, I gotta get up early tomorrow, so and I need to get my rest.
Absolutely.
So that's something that I struggled with in the past, but
Yeah,
I'm,
100%.
I'm getting better at it. Getting better every day.
100%. And I love that you said that you have that structure, but you're able to still have flexibility where there might be other things that come up. You can adapt that schedule, when needed, like if you have class or don't certain days. And I think that's so important, as you're a student athlete, right? You're juggling a lot, right? You have your academics, you have your sport, you have your social life, family, friends, other things going on. So there's a lot on your plate, and to be able to learn that balance is going to be able to help you, later on in life and everything that you choose to do and accomplish. What does that training routine look like in season? Especially with taking care of your mental health and physical health. What does that routine look like for you guys over at Reedley College?
So the training routine will be 3 days, 3 or 4 days a week. We're in the weight room. We were in the weight room more. We were in the weight room 5 days a week in the off season, but because we have school and other stuff to balance, and we're going to start playing in the next month, we're going to be doing 3 days in the weight room, and then it's 4 to 5 days. Just kind of depends on the schedules. 4 to 5 days in the gym practice. I try to get in the gym as much as I can, whether it's before practice or on the weekend. Really, whenever the gym's open or whenever I can get in, I'll get in and get a workout in. It can be tough to balance the workload with the recovery, but as long as I make sure everything that I do is intentional, and that makes it easy. There's no there's no wasted motion. I try for there to be no wasted motion.
I love it. I love it, and I think that's what's so nice to be able to have that structure and to be able to have trainers and the staff and the support from your coaches to be there to help you and your teammates, right, and to be at the best version of yourselves that you can be, gearing up for just games and practice and your whole season. And I think that's awesome that you guys have, that routine and be able to go in and dominate, right, and be able to perform at your best level. Going a little bit more into the major topic that's happened these past couple of years, the NIL era that we're all living in. How has NIL helped you, Kyriaun, with just your personal brand? You said you had a fitness page that you'd like to be active on. How has it been, how has it been applicable in your life as a student athlete so far?
I think with the NIL, I think it's a great opportunity for student athletes to be able to market themselves and actually make money off of their brand. Because I know personally a lot of student athletes. Well, it's not the reason they play sports, but a lot of student athletes are wanting to take care of their family and pay their family back for all the support that they've been given. In the past, you had to go through college first before you could, start to give back to the people who've been pouring into you. But now with the NIL, you can do that while you're going to school, while you're playing, and while you're on the come up. So I think that's nice. And also, I think for me personally, so far it's made my profile look better. It's made it's made me look more professional and a little bit more appealing because first impressions are key. So when someone goes to my page, they see the welcome post from Burst Sports, and then they see a few other basketball related videos. I have a few motivational videos, and then there's a weightlifting video on my page. So it just looks overall, it looks
Right.
really good. But it's not just looks, but that's the first thing people see.
Right.
So they see the first impression, and it looks good, and then once they dive deeper, they see the substance, and that's what we're saying.
Yep. And I think that's so huge. What you said right there is that it looks good, but it's also when they dive in deeper, they're going to see more of the substance, see more that you can actually have these genuine connections with the founders and executives and other brands that are out there that you're looking to partner with, because this is all to elevate your brand. And to be able to do that, you have to go and connect with people and have these genuine conversations that are authentic, build relationships, because this is all going to help you, whether you take it to the next level in the NBA or play overseas or do something else with your career. This is all going to help you, right? And to be able to do this, it's a long time coming, and now it's here. And to be able to do this where you can go and have your own clothing brand and fitness page and sneaker brand or whatever you want to do, and be able to do that without restrictions from the schools that's been for so long, it's just awesome that we can be living in this era where athletes can go and actually make this happen for themselves. And going a little bit into fan engagement, Kyriaun, what does that look like for you? You said you can engage with fans in your fitness account, even on your personal page. How, and even in games, right? When fans come to support you, how do you like to best engage with the fans that show their support for you?
Online, I try to engage through Instagram with polls, interactive stories, and even personal messages, or just kind of asking what they may need help with, and what kind of service can I provide. I think social media can be used for a lot of things, but the thing that I like to use it for most is to serve other people with the knowledge that I have, the experience I have. I have a lot of experience with working out, with basketball, that I can help, especially younger people, especially the kids, is what I really like. I really like to inspire the next generation. In person, when it comes to support and people coming to the games, I like to just show my appreciation the best I can. And whenever I'm talking to somebody that I am meeting for the first time, or someone who's a fan or someone who's a supporter, I always try to relate. I always try to relate, whether it be my story or kind of just ask them how their day is going. You know,
That's incredible.
I kind of just want to, yeah, I just kind of want to build. I just want to build connections with people, especially the people who are supporting me, because I wouldn't be here without them.
Right. No, most definitely. And I think that's it's so incredible and just impactful that you're able to, use your brand and everything that you're doing as a student athlete as a voice, right? To give kids their own voice, to go and chase their dreams, and the youth and everyone else that's out there as a fan, to be able to relate to them, to have real interactions, and show them that you're trying to provide as much value that can help them in their own journey. And I think doing that is going to make a long lasting impact, and really be able to give back, like you said, to that next generation. And has there been any specific brands, that kind of fits into your overall brand that you've been looking to partner with in NIL? Anyone out there that's been a company that you've had your eyes on since these past couple of years that you want to partner with?
Well, I think the obvious answer would be someone like Nike or Gatorade, but one company that isn't necessarily obscure is a pretty big company, but I have a pretty deep reason why I want to partner with them is Molten basketballs, because that was the FIBA 2019 ball was the first ball that I purchased for myself, and I did a lot of training with that ball. And I would say the summer where I really took my game to the next level in high school, I used that ball all summer. So I still have it at my house back home, and even though I don't use it as much now because I have a new one, it still holds a special place in my heart because of that training art. So I think that would be really cool to partner with that.
That's an awesome story. And if Molten Basketball, if they're listening in the audience, please hit up Kyriaun, and we'll make that happen to get you that opportunity. That would be incredible. Like you said, it's been the first basketball you started training with. It's been something that's part of your journey, just as an athlete, right? As a basketball player. So that's awesome to be able to share that kind of relationship with that company. That it's such an exciting time to be living in because there's so much opportunity. This is still such an early stage of everything that's been going on. Kind of talk more about what you see right now in sports technology. It's technology in sports is ever growing every single day. There's so much happening and changing. You see what we're doing at Burst, and we're always trying to evolve, add more value to athletes like yourself. What does that kind of look like for you when you kind of look at the grand scheme of things of sports technology right now?
I think it's an ever changing space. It's always growing and progressing. I think with the advent of AI, it's going to be very interesting in the next few years. And I'm just ready to learn. I'm kind of sitting back, not sitting back, but I'm soaking up everything, just trying to gather as much information as I can. I'm taking in everything, and it's just a great thing to be a part of. I love being a part of new opportunities, and I love being a part of I love being a part of new opportunities, and I love working with people who are ambitious and see things differently and see the future and want to make a change. And that's why I wanted to partner with you in Burst, because I can see the ambition, I can see the passion, and I just
I
think that's
appreciate it.
it.
Thank you for the kind words, Kyrian. And that's it right there. Our mission is to just really get out there, help student athletes, show them what's possible. And especially in the sports technology world, like you said, that's ever changing and really progressing every single day. There's so much to learn, to be part of, and to really allow it to elevate your brand and do things that can open up new doors and new opportunities. Going more into your career, and we'll kind of wrap up in these next few questions right now. What do you kind of envision for your overall career? I know you're playing right now at Reedley College. What does it kind of look like in the next few years, for you and your basketball career?
So what I vision for my basketball career, and what I envision is to play the next 1 or 2 years here at Reedley, and then transfer to a bigger school, a Division One school, have a successful college career throughout all 4 years, and then I want to have the longest professional and NBA career that I can. However that pans out, whatever God's plan is for me, I plan to have the best career possible, and then use that career and the notoriety that I gain to inspire the next generation. Because that's ultimately my goal. I want to be for the 11, 12-year-old kid that's just starting out playing basketball. I want to be to them what I had. So that's really the goal at the end of the day is to have a successful career and then use that successful career to inspire and make the world a better place in my chosen space, which is basketball and
It,
sports and fitness and all that stuff.
it's so inspirational what you said right there, and it's remarkable to have that big mission. I think that's what aligns us so much with Burst and you, Kyrian, is that to make a huge impact on the next generation. And that's not a small mission by any means. And for you at such a young age to have that mission, that's your personal why. It's why you wake up every day and do what you do. It's because you want to make that positive difference and you want to make that huge impact. And kind of we'll wrap up here with another question at the end that we always do. But when you do have some free time on your hands, when you're not playing basketball or training or having academics, what are some other things that you like to do, as hobbies or passions or side hustles that you like to do in your free time?
So I like to do anything active outside of basketball. So whether that be hiking, bowling, even playing a different sport like tennis or but outside of the activity and because all of that can be considered fitness. Outside of just the activity and active lifestyle, I like to hang out with friends, whether it's just, all if we're all just sitting in a common room or whatever and talking, maybe playing pool, playing whatever. I also like watching anime. I don't know if I'm sure it's becoming more popular nowadays, but I know when I was growing up it wasn't. But
Right.
I just am who I am, so I like watching anime.
That's awesome.
I don't really play video games too much. Well, I do, but I don't have like my own console or anything,
Right.
so I only play video games with friends. The only game I really play is I like to play Super Mario World on my laptop. Like I'll hook it up to my TV and I'll play that for a little bit. And I'm also working on learning Japanese.
Wow.
So that's something I
That's
do in my
incredible.
free time too. I try to keep myself busy with as much productive stuff as
Absolutely,
possible.
absolutely. Well, when you learn Japanese, please teach me some. Because I would love to learn that language. And that's awesome that you can really just take that time, like you said, to just decompress, right? Whether you take your mind off, whether
Yeah.
it's going on in basketball or school, and you can really just, like you said, be with friends, video games, doing active stuff outside and exercise. And I think all that's great to really have peace of mind and have more clarity when you go and have your mission that you're attacking. And this is kind of the last question that we always do, Kyrian, to wrap things up in every episode. What would be three pieces of advice that you would give to the next generation, whether it's athletes, kids, the youth that looks up to you? What would those three pieces of advice be?
The three pieces of advice that I would give are one, punctuality, because that is very important. Being on time, being able to take care of business, that's something that is I feel isn't stressed enough. Obviously, we're all taught to be on time, but it's it can't I can't stress enough how important it is to be 10-15 minutes early, even if, for example, if practice starts at 4 and coach gets there at 3:45, why not just get there at 3:30 and just be sitting outside doing whatever when he shows up because that makes a great impression.
Absolutely.
And character and connections are also important. The person you are and the people you surround yourself and connect yourself with, even on social media. So even if you're just following somebody who isn't of the level of character that you are, it can make you look bad because you're connected to that person. Even though we may feel, oh, I just follow them. I don't really know them. I don't really talk to them. It's still a connection that can be perceived because it's all about perception. It can be perceived as you know them, you're their friend, and that's really important as well. And the last thing I would say comes from more of a personal standpoint, but replaceability. If you won't do the work, then someone else will. And it doesn't matter how extraordinary you are and how talented you are, there's always someone out there who is more talented and willing to work harder. So as long as you're consistent and you consistently put the effort in and you know that at any time someone could come and challenge you for your spot. And if you're not ready, then your spot will be taken. As long as you have that mindset and that humility and that work ethic, then you can go far in anything. And those are three things that I think are very important that I've seen in the past. Just in the past year, there's more, but I think those are very important.
Those are great three pieces of advice. Kyriaun, let me just kind of rephrase that for everyone listening in the audience. You said number one, punctuality, the importance of being on time, and that can travel, and that kind of transcends in every aspect of your life, whether it's practice, school, business meetings, whatever that is. That's so important. And you said number two, just your character and connections. People say like your network is your net worth, and be able to go in, get these connections, go and reach out to people, introduce yourself when you meet people in person or online. And really, be authentic in that relationship that you're building. And you said number three, the replaceability. That's another key aspect of things. If you're not going to do the work, someone else will. That's so spot on because, it doesn't matter if you're building your own company, if you're an employee for a company, whatever you're doing, even just being on the basketball team, right? If you're not going to play your position and to the best that you can of your ability, someone else will take that spot. And so it's about just being irreplaceable, and it's about hard work. It's about working smart, and really putting in that time and effort to get that outcome and that reward. And so thank you so much, Kyriaun Davis here, forward at Reedley College, for sharing awesome knowledge and gems in our podcast today. Make sure if you're listening, follow him all over social media. Stay tuned for his upcoming season and his digital trading card release. And there's so much more to come as we help him in the NIL space and sports technology. So thank you so much, Kyriaun, for being on the show today.
Thank you, Grant. I appreciate it. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to doing more. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity. I had a great time. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you.